All right. Ready to deep dive into the history of soccer.
Always up for a good history lesson.
This one is really a journey.
It is, isn't it?
I mean, from ancient rituals to billion-dollar empires.
Billion-dollar empires, right?
It's amazing to me.
Yeah.
How did this game that might have even started in China
Right.
become this worldwide obsession?
It is fascinating to see
It really is.
how something so simple as just kicking a ball around became what we now call the beautiful game.
To help us connect the dots.
Yeah.
We've got our resident history expert here.
That's me.
Who just sees all the patterns in the past.
I try.
So let's just kick off with this whole origin story. I was reading about this game called Cuju, and it was played in China centuries ago.
Yes.
What's the deal with that?
Cuju, which translates to kickball,
Okay.
was played as early as the 3rd century BC in China.
Wow.
And it involved kicking a leather ball
Okay.
filled with feathers.
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 Okay.
Through a net.
So like a goal.
A net. Yeah, you could think of it as a goal.
Okay.
The game was popular among both commoners and emperors.
Really?
And was even used as military training.
Wait.
Yeah.
Military training. How does kicking a feather-stuffed ball prepare you for battle?
Cuju was seen as a way to develop teamwork, agility, and footwork.
Okay.
All valuable skills on a battlefield.
Interesting.
Interestingly,
Yeah.
FIFA even acknowledges Cuju on their official website
No kidding.
as a potential ancestor of modern soccer.
So does this mean China gets, like, ultimate bragging rights for inventing soccer?
It's not that simple.
Oh, okay.
While Cuju holds a strong claim,
Yeah.
there are other contenders
Okay.
for the title of soccer's ancestor.
All right.
Both Italy and England have their own versions of ancient ball games.
Okay, now this is where it gets intriguing.
Right.
Tell me about these other contenders.
Okay, well, in Italy, they had a game called Calcio.
Calcio.
Calcio. Imagine a massive brawl disguised as a sport.
What?
Players would punch, kick, grapple, and even choke each other,
Oh my God.
using the ball more as a marker for scoring
Okay.
than the primary focus of play.
So less about fancy footwork
Yeah.
and more about survival.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm guessing FIFA isn't really rushing to highlight this version of soccer history.
Not exactly.
Okay.
Calcio was a chaotic spectacle
Yeah.
that bore little resemblance to the structured game we see today.
Okay, all right. What about England?
Right.
Weren't they kicking something around too?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
In England, they had folk football,
Folk football.
which was essentially a massive free-for-all
Oh my.
involving entire villages.
Really?
These matches had very few rules, and the main objective seemed to be
Okay.
to get the ball from one point to another,
Okay.
regardless of the mayhem caused along the way.
So think more like rugby scrum
Yes.
than like elegant passing plays.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got Chinese strategy. Right.
Italian brawling and English chaos.
Pretty much.
How did all of this
Yeah.
evolve into the globally unified sport
Right.
we see today?
That's where the 19th century comes in.
Okay.
And a group of students at Cambridge University in England,
All right.
they took on this rather ambitious task
Okay.
of codifying the rules of soccer.
So they were like writing the rule book.
Basically.
Wow.
Yeah, essentially drawing a line in the sand between it and rugby.
Okay.
This standardization was key
Yeah.
to transforming soccer
Okay.
from a chaotic free-for-all
Yeah.
into a structured, organized sport.
So a bunch of university students basically gave birth.
It's a pretty amazing legacy.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this is when things really started to take off.
Exactly.
Okay.
The British Empire, with its vast reach across the globe,
Yeah.
played a huge role in spreading the sport.
Okay.
British expats and sailors introduced soccer to their colonies, establishing clubs and leagues wherever they went. Ugh. The good old sun never sets on the British Empire strategy. Soccer as a tool of cultural influence.
Exactly.
Clever.
Yeah.
So, when did soccer break free from its
Mhm.
British roots and truly become this international phenomenon?
The first official international soccer match
Okay.
was played in 1872
Okay.
between, as you might expect,
It's gonna get...
England
Yeah.
and Scotland.
Okay.
It ended in a 0-0 draw,
Of course it did.
setting the stage
Right.
for countless future stalemates in the sport.
Oh, so true.
But the real turning point came
Okay.
with the emergence of non-British teams
Right.
on the international stage.
So who stepped up to challenge, like, the founders of the game?
It might surprise you,
Okay.
but it was Uruguay.
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 Wow.
A nation not typically associated with soccer dominance today.
Right.
But in the early 20th century, they dominated the Olympic soccer tournaments.
No kidding.
Winning back-to-back gold medals in 1924 and 1928.
Uruguay. That's a curveball.
It is.
What made them so good?
Well,
and why don't we hear more about them in the modern game?
Their early success is a fascinating story.
Yeah.
And it speaks to the constantly shifting landscape of soccer.
Okay.
Uruguay's victories showcased the burgeoning talent in South American soccer. And they played a crucial role in shaping the future of the sport.
Okay.
But as we'll see, the global power dynamics in soccer were about to change dramatically.
All right, this is where I'm getting really hooked.
Okay, good.
We've gone from ancient China to brawls in Italy.
Right.
Chaotic English villages. Rule-making students.
Yeah.
Now a surprising South American powerhouse.
Exactly.
Where does the World Cup, the ultimate stage for soccer, fit into all of this?
That's where FIFA steps back into the spotlight.
Okay.
They had this grand vision of a global professional soccer tournament.
Okay.
And after years of planning, the first FIFA World Cup kicked off in 1930. And guess where it was held?
Given the pattern so far, I'm going to guess Uruguay.
You got it.
Yes.
Their Olympic success, growing reputation in the sport, made them the perfect choice.
Okay.
But there was one small problem.
What's that?
This was 1930.
Right.
And transatlantic air travel wasn't exactly common.
So how did the European teams get there?
Wow.
Did they just, decide to skip it?
Many did opt out.
Really?
Due to the logistical nightmare of a weeks-long sea voyage.
Oh, I can imagine.
Imagine trying to play at your peak after being seasick for weeks.
Right.
But some teams braved the journey.
Wow.
Making the first World Cup a truly historic event.
Yeah.
Even with a limited number of participants.
Wow. Talk about dedication.
Okay.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat.
All right.
Who won the first ever World Cup?
Who else? Uruguay.
Of course.
They defeated their rivals Argentina in the final.
Okay.
Solidifying their place in soccer history. It was the beginning of a new era.
Yeah.
One where soccer would become a truly global spectacle.
This is incredible.
It is.
We've gone from kicking a feather-filled ball in ancient China to international rivalries and the birth of the World Cup.
Quite a journey.
It is. I can't wait to hear what happens next.
It's a wild ride.
I bet. It is.
Okay, so we've got the World Cup. Soccer is global.
Right.
This feels like the perfect time for some larger-than-life characters.
It does.
To, enter the scene.
And there's no figure more iconic in soccer history than Pelé.
Pelé.
He burst onto the world stage at the 1958 World Cup.
Okay.
And he was just 17 years old.
Hold on. 17.
17.
That's practically still a kid.
I know, right?
What was he doing playing the World Cup?
He wasn't just playing, he was dominating.
Oh, okay.
Pelé scored a hat-trick.
A hat-trick.
3 goals in a single game.
Wow.
In the semifinals.
Okay.
And then 2 more goals in the final.
Oh, my God. Leading Brazil to their first ever World Cup victory.
Okay.
At age 17.
Now that's what I call making an entrance.
That is.
So this teenage prodigy takes the world by storm. Brazil wins their first World Cup.
It was huge.
What happens next in this soccer saga?
Well, Pelé went on to win 2 more World Cups with Brazil.
2 more?
In 1962 and 1970.
Oh, my goodness.
He remains the only player to have achieved that incredible feat.
Okay.
Solidifying his status as a global icon.
So Pelé's career is basically like a highlight reel.
It is.
So did Brazil just ride his wave of talent?
Well,
and dominate for decades?
Not exactly.
Okay.
While Pelé was undeniably a force of nature, the landscape of soccer was still shifting.
Oh.
England, for example, won the World Cup in 1966.
Oh, right.
A tournament where Pelé actually faced intense physical pressure from opposing defenders. And Brazil was unexpectedly eliminated in the group stage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So even legends have their off days?
They do.
It's kind of humanizing to know that even Pelé wasn't invincible, but still 3 World Cup wins.
It's pretty incredible.
That's got to be the ultimate measure of greatness, right?
It's certainly a compelling argument.
Yeah.
But Pelé's legacy extends far beyond the trophies.
Okay.
He transcended the sport, becoming a global ambassador for soccer.
Okay.
Inspiring millions around the world.
Right.
And breaking down barriers with his talent and charisma.
And you can't talk about Pelé without mentioning the curse.
The curse.
Is there any truth to that, or is it just like a fun bit of soccer lore?
It's definitely a superstition.
Yeah.
But it's one that has generated some hilarious moments over the years.
Okay.
Pelé has a long history of incorrectly predicting World Cup winners.
Oh, no kidding.
It became a running joke that whichever team he tipped for victory
that's funny.
was almost guaranteed to lose.
So if you were a superstitious fan, you'd be hoping Pelé bet against your team. That's hilarious.
It's the anti-Midas touch of soccer predictions.
Okay.
There's this one story where he predicted that an African nation would win the World Cup before the year 2000. That didn't happen.
Okay.
But at the very next World Cup in 2002, Brazil won. With a team featuring several players of African descent.
Oh, wow.
So people joke that he was close.
Right.
Just off by a couple of years and a continent.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It is funny.
It's amazing how these little anecdotes add so much color to soccer history.
I know, they're great.
But I'm curious, how did soccer go?
Yeah.
From being this sport with like pockets of passionate fans to the truly global phenomenon we see today.
The 1980s mark a turning point.
Okay.
Television played a massive role
Right.
in bringing soccer into homes around the world, exposing a whole new generation to the sport,
Yeah.
creating opportunities for lucrative TV deals,
Right.
broadcasting rights, and a flood of advertising money.
Ah, the power of the screen.
That's powerful.
Soccer went from being like a working class sport to this global entertainment juggernaut.
Exactly.
Television was the catalyst.
It was.
But were there any other surprising factors that contributed to this explosion in popularity?
There's one theory.
Okay.
It might sound a little out there.
Right.
But it involves a Japanese manga series.
Manga. Like comic book.
Like comic books.
How did that influence soccer?
The series is called Captain Tsubasa.
Captain Tsubasa, okay.
It follows the story of a young boy with incredible soccer talent.
Okay.
And it became a global sensation in the 1980s.
So all these kids are reading this, and they're like, I want to be like Captain Tsubasa.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
The theory is that this series, with its captivating storyline and dynamic art, actually inspired a generation of kids worldwide to start playing soccer.
No.
Even professional players like Zidane and Iniesta have cited Captain Tsubasa as an early influence.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's kind of cool.
So a Japanese comic book playing a role in shaping the global soccer landscape?
It's pretty wild.
You never know where inspiration will come from.
That's true.
But soccer isn't all sunshine and inspiring stories, is it?
Unfortunately, no.
There's a darker side
to its history as well.
The passion and intensity surrounding soccer can sometimes spill over into tragedy.
Like the story of Andres Escobar.
A very sad story.
The Colombian player who was tragically murdered after scoring an own goal during the 1994 World Cup.
An own goal, for those unfamiliar, is when a player accidentally scores a goal for the opposing team. And Escobar's own goal contributed to Colombia's elimination from the tournament. And tragically, he was shot and killed upon returning home.
Oh, God.
Reportedly by gamblers who had lost money on the game. It's a stark reminder that the stakes in soccer can be incredibly high, sometimes even life or death.
It's scary.
And it underscores the dangerous side of fanaticism and the dark underbelly that exists in any sport with such massive global reach.
For sure.
But even with these tragedies, soccer continued its relentless march towards becoming the most popular sport on the planet.
The 1998 World Cup in France was a testament to that growing popularity. It was the first tournament to feature 32 teams.
Wow.
And it gave us iconic moments like Zidane leading France to victory on their home soil.
And that victory just like propelled Zidane to superstardom, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Like he became one of the most expensive players in the world. When he transferred to Real Madrid for over $60 million.
He was huge at the time.
That was huge. But weren't there like even more astronomical transfers later on?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
The transfer fees in soccer have skyrocketed in recent decades, reflecting the sport's growing financial clout. Neymar's transfer to PSG in 2017 shattered all records.
Oh, wow.
Costing a mind-blowing 222 million euros.
222 million euros.
which is over $260 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's more than some countries' GDP.
It's crazy.
It's incredible to see how soccer has evolved.
Yeah.
From those humble beginnings to this global financial powerhouse.
It really is.
Speaking of records, what about the World Cup itself?
Okay.
Any mind-blowing stats from the tournament?
Absolutely.
Oh.
For example, the 2010 World Cup in South Africa was watched by an estimated 3.2 billion people worldwide.
That's almost half the planet.
It is.
Tuning in to watch a single sporting event.
Crazy, right?
That's just insane.
Yeah.
Soccer truly is a unifying force.
It is.
Bringing people together from all corners of the globe.
And the numbers just keep growing.
Yeah.
On the field, Brazil holds the record for most World Cup goals.
Oh, wow.
With 229.
229.
And Germany's Lothar Matthäus holds the record for most appearances, having played in an incredible 5 different World Cups.
That's a lot of soccer.
It is.
I love those little nuggets of trivia.
You too.
It's amazing to think about the sheer volume of history
I know.
That's packed into this one tournament.
It's incredible.
But we've only scratched the surface
of
the modern era.
Yeah.
We haven't even touched on the rise of Messi, Ronaldo, and Mbappé.
Right.
The global superstars who are currently shaping the game.
And we can't forget the 2022 World Cup in Qatar.
Right.
The most expensive World Cup ever.
Yeah.
With over $220 billion invested.
Wow.
In infrastructure and preparation.
Okay.
Plus, we have the expanded 48-team tournament coming up.
Right.
In 2026.
Yeah.
Which is sure to be another massive spectacle.
Right.
There's just so much more to explore.
This is incredible.
Yeah.
From ancient origins to global rivalries, legendary players, tragic moments.
Now this massive financial empire.
It's a lot.
We've really explored the full spectrum
I think so.
of soccer's history.
It's a wild ride.
But before we wrap things up,
Okay.
I'm curious to dive a little deeper into the financial side of things.
All right.
Player salaries these days are astronomical.
They are.
What kind of figures are we talking about?
Well, Kylian Mbappé currently holds that title.
Highest paid
player, yeah.
Okay.
He makes $62 million annually.
Wait.
Yeah.
$62 million.
Just in salary from his club.
Just in salary?
Yeah.
Does that come with like a lifetime supply of soccer balls or something?
I doubt it.
That's wild.
It does highlight, though,
Yeah.
the incredible financial power of soccer today.
Right. It really does.
And when you factor in those mega endorsement deals, the top players are pulling in well over $100 million a year.
Wow.
Messi and Ronaldo, for example,
are both in the 120 to 130 million range.
That's more than some small countries.
I know, it's crazy.
It's mind-boggling how much money is swirling around in the world of professional soccer.
Yeah, there's a lot.
But I'm curious, how do those soccer salaries stack up against the top earners in other sports?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
So if we compare across different sports, Conor McGregor, the mixed martial arts superstar, currently sits at the top.
Wow.
Pulling in a staggering $180 million annually. From salary, endorsements, everything.
That's a lot of punching power.
It is.
Where do basketball players fall on this spectrum of mega earnings?
LeBron James.
Yeah.
The biggest name in basketball. Earns just under $120 million a year.
So right up there with Ronaldo.
Yeah, putting right up there with Ronaldo. In terms of overall income.
So soccer might not be the absolute pinnacle of athlete earnings, but it's definitely in the top tier.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's a testament to the global reach.
It is.
And financial muscle of the sport.
Yeah, absolutely.
And those numbers are only going to keep climbing as soccer's popularity continues to grow.
Especially in those emerging markets.
It's incredible to think about how far soccer has come.
It is.
From ancient origins to global rivalries, legendary players, tragic moments.
It's been a wild ride.
And now this massive financial empire?
Yeah, it has.
We've really explored the full spectrum of soccer's history.
It's pretty amazing.
What stands out most to you from our depth dive?
It's a good question.
What surprised you?
I think for me, it's the constant evolution of soccer. Both on and off the field.
Yeah.
From its humble beginnings to its current status as a global powerhouse. Soccer never stands still. It adapts, it innovates. And it reflects the changing world around it.
I like that.
So as you watch the next World Cup match, Just remember, you're witnessing a small part of a much larger story. One that spans centuries and connects billions of people worldwide.
This has been an incredible journey.
It has.
And it's a reminder that soccer is so much more than just a game.
It really is.
It's a cultural phenomenon that transcends borders, languages, and social barriers.
It brings people together.
It's a shared passion that unites us all.
Who knows? Maybe one day we'll see a team from a country with just 330,000 people.
Oh, like Iceland?
Like Iceland. Shock the world and lift that World Cup trophy.
That would be awesome.
Proving that anything is possible in this beautiful game.
Until next time.
Right.
Keep exploring, keep learning.
Always.
And keep on kicking.
Absolutely.